Oopsie daisy. Hello, it's me, Jake. Welcome aboard. Wearing my t-shirt from this award show where I presented an award. I'm not going to read it because I don't think I should read it. Hope you're well on this Thursday. I am all right. I'm all right. Lady Jerry is not so great, but we'll get to that as people arrive.
Where I presented an award.
Turn this down a little bit. So, yeah, here we are. Here we go. This is it. Bob, greetings to you, sir. And let's see who else is in attendance. Richard, hello to you. I see you. Christopher, yes, happy first Friday, as we call it here. Tomorrow we've got the happy half hour, and I can't wait. Rich, good to see you. Rachel, greetings. Sending your thoughts to Lady Jerry. Well, she could use them, so thank you for that. Laura, hello. Gray and rainy in Atlanta, but how many Rice Krispie treats do you have? Flavia, hello. So, yes, we've just been a quiet day at home. Yesterday was a very, very busy day. We had two doctor's appointments for Lady Jerry. We took her into the doctor, then she had to go get some blood drawn. Then we had to go to a second location for an MRI. Yo, Dave. Hello. So Lady Jerry's had an MRI. She's got a new prescription for some more steroids. So she's going to be ripped when she comes back. Jacked and ripped. And then that was pretty exhausting. And then Fanula also had a doctor's appointment yesterday, so it was a real runaround all over town. Jen's all high on drugs. I've been warned. Well, thanks, Dave. That's good to know. You and Jen got a little side action going on. It sounds like. Whatever I mean by that, I don't know. I'm sure it's very wholesome when you're not finding body parts in the swamp. Rachel, yes. So Lady Jerry is doing slightly better because these new steroids have kind of helped to mitigate the pain for yesterday and today. But you know, she's not due to take any more until late tonight or tomorrow, and the pain is coming back, so that's a problem. The doctor has looked at the MRI and has now ordered another MRI, and we're supposed to go in hopefully later today or tomorrow to get a second MRI for Lady Jerry, and then she has an appointment on Monday with ENT, ear, nose, and throat doctor, to look at the MRIs because there may be something. Facial mass are two words that I heard today that they don't sound good. But if there's a cyst or something that can be drained or removed to relieve that pressure, which is possibly causing pain, or an abscess, if there's some kind of inflammation in there, that would be great news to know what the hell is going on. Yes, post-op drugs, not recreational. Yeah. Thanks, Christopher. Uma, yes, you've missed a lot. You and Keys. There was some talk about where you were, where Keys' pants were, but it's good to have you back. Ouija, good to see you back. Jen, yes, thanks for the kind words about Belinda. So she's soldiering on, but it's been, emotionally it's tough because she's been sort of on her back for almost 2 weeks now. You and Keys are in a boot camp that's at 5:30 p.m. every night, and you have to get on the road right after 5 to get there. Oh, I get it. Well, it's good for you in boot camp. I hope it all works out. I watched Tomorrow War. I hope you're not in boot camp for Tomorrow War, because there's a low survival rate for that, and spoiler alert, don't go to Tomorrow War. We're going to be able to sort that out without all of us traveling into the future. Little Jerry, Fanula Jerry, is doing great. Rachel, thank you for asking about her. Flavia, yes, it is awful being in pain for few weeks, and it's the pain, and then it's the time, the that just your whole life is on hold for this stupid nonsense. And because she's got this vision thing with her eye now, she's not, she can't read or watch anything really on Netflix. So it's terrible. Jen, you're saying Tomorrow War sucked. Yeah, I didn't have that strong of a feeling about it, but yeah, it wasn't my favorite. Wasn't my favorite. So today it's Ancient Aliens on the Bible Day, and I have to say I want to continue to read forward in this, but I may or may not do a segment on it next week because it's starting to repeat itself. Well, so today's segment is about close encounters of Isaiah and Elijah, prophets in the Bible. And basically, this is just more of the same in that who were these prophets, and when they're having encounters with angels or God, a lot of the language that they're using when you go into the translations and whatnot can be interpreted that they're aliens. And as evidence that aliens and gods are comparable to each other. When African-American World War II fighter pilot John Frum crashed on a tiny island in the South Pacific, the natives who witnessed that event would later turn him into a god. And so that's the concept of the cargo cult theory that basically says that the ancient astronauts is true because if they had never seen airplanes before, and so they thought he was a god because he was flying around. Soviet scientist Maytest Agrest, who was one of the first scientists to write that the Bible contained scenes related to alien entities moving around and unidentified objects, he was ridiculed and blacklisted, of course, but now we know better. He's talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, that could have been a nuclear blast that the ancient aliens set off to punish the Sodom and Gomorrites. You know, in the Bible it says he was turned into a pillar of salt, which derives from a consonant root of the verb MLCH, which indicates the act of dissolving. So maybe Lot's wife was turned into a pillar of salt. Maybe she just evaporated from the nuclear blast. But I think if you're close enough to witness that, you also evaporate. I'm pretty sure about that. And then there's some other modern UFO witnesses who talk about, yes, it's obvious that these people in the Bible were not witnessing gods, they were witnessing ancient aliens. Guess what? That's what the book is about, and that's what they keep talking about. So the next chapter 7, which I'm not even going to read, is about Enoch's magic carpet ride, but this is another prophet from the Bible who, when you look at it, was it angels and God, or was it aliens? And then next week on Ancient Aliens of the Bible, we'll be on chapter 8, Zechariah and Ezekiel. Ezekiel saw a wheel way up in the middle of the sky. Spoiler alert, I think you knew that. So I got a feeling that chapter is going to be like these two chapters we've just read. And then, okay, so let's forget about that and go right to chapter 9 next week, UFOs in the New Testament, because that's where Jesus goes for a ride in a spaceship, because it's his spaceship, I think, is what his ambiance point. But we'll find that out next week. How's that for a cliffhanger? All right. Oh, Jen, you posted a YouTube. I haven't seen that yet. As the Firesign Theater said, there's aliens in my eggs. Yeah, well, those are fertilized eggs, Carl, I think. Oh, you just looked up my shirt, Jake. Oh, nice. Yeah, thanks, Uma. I presented an award at that. I think you can find the video of me. If you Google my name presenting this award, Coca-Cola, I think you might get to see the video of the speech that I did where I was pretending to be an employee of Coca-Cola accepting an award for doing some negative environmental work. Greetings from Deadwood, South Dakota. Wow, Ed, you're really out there. Shootout in front of the hotel starts in 2 hours. Finally, some justice in these parts. Yeah, well, And the thing about Justice in Deadwood is they got to have that shootout. Is it weekdays? Every weekday at 2 o'clock? I mean, man, you would think one good shootout would solve everything. Um, Ancient Aliens in the Bible has gone the way of Prison Break TV show. First season was outstanding, but and near the end of the series, after several repetitive years, you finally just wanted everybody to die. Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see about the Ancient Aliens in the Bible. I started watching a new show last night about a plane that took off, and it took off from Florida or Jamaica or someplace and landed in wherever they were going, the Midwest, Chicago, I guess. And it was a 3-hour flight, and to the people on the plane, 3 hours had passed, but to all the people on the ground, 5 years had passed. And I thought that was going to be promising. I enjoyed Lost, so weird time travel airplane stuff, right up my alley. I watched most of the first episode, and I am out. And I was sad because that was the number one TV show on Netflix or whatever. You can't listen to everybody. That's my point. And I know that today is not a motivational Monday, but you can't listen to everybody. And sometimes people can tell you something good, like Netflix. They've steered me right a few times. They have steered me right a few times. But in this case, I can't even remember the thing that I'm telling you not to watch. There's actually 3 shootouts a day. That's a lot of shootouts, Ed. Jen, you're saying, FYI, it's really important to note that Dr. Pepper's from Sonic are the best drinks in the universe. F diabetes. Cherry Dr. Peppers. Wow. That's exciting. Flavia, depressing that Bill Cosby was released from prison on a technicality. Yes. On the other hand, we're trying to book him for one of these shootouts in Deadwood. And 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm not. I don't know where I'm going. I'm working fast and cheap right now. Got you started on To the Lake. Well, I enjoyed To the Lake, Bob. I have to say that was one that I thought maintained its goodness throughout to the end. I don't know how season 2 is going to be, but then again, one never does. Now they're talking about Bill Cosby doing comedy shows again. Dave, yeah, I I don't even know what to say except I wouldn't pay a lot of money for a ticket, but I think if someone was going, I might go just to see what happens, because there might be some heckling. I think he's not even going to talk about the thing. He's going to try and just do his regular act, which would be weird. And I don't. Yeah, Bill Cosby. Why do comedy shows? That's what I asked Bill Cosby. But then again, he might ask me the same question. Why would I do comedy shows? I don't have to do them. I want to do them. But that's how much fun comedy is. Even after you've been convicted of sexual assault crimes and then released from prison, you can't just shut up and watch Netflix. You want to go out and do stand-up. So there you got it. Ouija's saying same 3 shootouts a day, just like in New York City, but they don't schedule them. You know, the New York City shootouts are spontaneous, and that's why people hate them so much. Watching Hacks on this trip. Oh, I see. Trip home. Since your daughter's traveling with you in the return drive, it's been fun to rewatch it, even though we watched it originally only a month or so ago. Yeah, I enjoyed Hacks. It's got some verisimilitude to actual doing stand-up comedy, and it's also got some sweetness where people who are jerks actually turn out to then be nice to each other. So jerks are being nice to other jerks, and that's really going to turn this thing around. When we can get jerks being nice to other jerks, whoo, progress. That's when real progress is going to get made. Going to be a comedy hypnotist. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I've got my mental hypnosis. That reminds me, this book, I can see it over there. It's under a pile of other things. Surprise. I got to take a look at my mental book for maybe next week. We'll talk about that. Yeah, Ouija, I wouldn't want to go to a shootout because I don't want to become a witness. If I don't want to be in a jury, what I also don't want to do is have to do testimony. or get deposed. It's bad enough that we're all going to decompose. I don't want. I don't want to also get deposed. Jen, you're saying I want to do comedy shows because I'm way funnier than Bill Cosby. That is not what I'm trying to prove, and I'm not even sure that that's true. Cosby's taken over for Carrot Top. Well, I don't think he can do Carrot Top's act. It's very physical what Carrot Top does. You doubt that Cosby will go back to doing comedy. It might go the way of the tour that Charlie Sheen did when he was still having trouble with drug addiction. Kind of bombed and then went nowhere. Well, I disagree a little bit with that analysis of it, Flavia, because I think he did make multiple appearances around, and it was a real crap show, but it was well attended, and I think the people who saw it got what they deserved. Uma, you saw Bill Cosby years ago before he was, blind, and well, I think he's always been black, but yeah, Bill Cosby, before we knew he was a monster, he was entertaining. Jake, am I going to be doing a show opening for your friend in San Diego, was it? No, Rachel, I'm sorry you missed that word. I got back to him too late because I had to verify that I was cleared. I didn't have to do jury duty this week because that was going to be tonight. And by the time I called him back to say, hey, they don't need me for jury duty, so I can do your comedy show, he said, it's too late. That's over. Was it going to be tonight? Maybe it was going to be last week. I can't even remember these things. But no, the answer is I'm not going to do that. I did get a phone call today about doing a kind of a trade show for beekeepers next January. So it's not all bad news. I'm going to be hanging out with some beekeepers at a casino in Vegas if everything goes according to plan. So I'm looking forward to that. Can you please nail down a date for Jake Fest? For God's sake, Jen, I've got you guys on that. I need you guys to help pick a location, and we can work together then once, if you're going to be the chairman of this committee. There we go. Apparently Jen turns into your mother on heavy opiates. Dave, that's interesting. There's not a location yet, Flavia. Ouija, you want to go to the beekeeper thing? Well, I'll keep you posted. I think it's. I think you're definitely eligible to join this organization. So as I find out more about it, I'll let you know here. Make sure it's not some kind of sting, Scott. Huh? I see what you did. Dave keeps pushing for Cabo. Well, I like Cabo, but I don't know that we all want to leave the country. Not on this last legs of the pandemic. And that's what the guy who called me this morning about the beekeeper gig was saying. It's still tricky to know how many people are going to be wanting to show up and if they might do a combined digital thing. Do I want Jake Fest to line up with my doing a show, or can it be anywhere, anytime? Well, I mean, I'm hoping that there's going to be some financial upside for me in Jake Fest. And so in theory, it could be anywhere, anytime. But if we're going bare bones micro budget on Jake Fest, then it's going to have to line up with a gig somewhere. To there. Ouija, you ready to get going on the Jake Fest? I'd love to do Jake Fest in Alaska. Alaska next, January, February, Jake Fest. We won't have any distractions. Oh, Ouija's got a secret project, evidently, Jen. That's exciting. The tater tot casserole can only travel so far. Uma, listen, they've got tater tots wherever we're doing Jake Fest. We're not doing it. So I think what you got to say, you got to plan this where you're going to bring your skills, and we'll make the tot casserole in situ on location. Saved a bee from the kiddie pool today, Rich. Wow, this show is really, First Friday is pretty exciting. Jen, dear everyone, Jake Fest is going to be in Dallas. I think this has got to be more of a consensus thing than that. Okay. Jake Fest at the Moose's Tooth. I've never been to the Moose's Tooth, but that sounds good. You're friends with the guy whose father invented the tater tot. Bob, if you could get him to come as a special guest to Jake Fest, that would be great. I mean, his dad is maybe gone now, but even the son of the tot. Son of the tot? Was he the tot? He is the tater tot. Tot. I think I know where I was going. So, where are we? Oh, we're doing. Oh, we were talking about Kangol hats coming back in style, and I found my Kangol. This is the one I've got. This is not the typical shape. This is the bucket hat. This is my old guy, old poop hat, if you can grok that reference. Oh, his dad is gone. He started Orida. Orida, the fry play. Oh, he's Orida. What does tot refer to? Anyone? Well, tots are tiny, and so tots are like children of people. So a tater tot is a child of a potato. That's my guess. Tell me what I won. Is it too late for me to win? Is my entry in time? Lose the hat. You don't want to be mistaken for Woody Allen. Yes, thank you, Bob. I think you're right about that. Oh, after the socks, you're making the beanies on deck. Jen, I'm happy to hear it. I'd like to be sporting that beanie. All right, let's have a question from the question box for this first Friday. And happy hour. I got my rosé all ready for happy hour. Yeah, that doesn't sound as tough as I like to think that I am. What's the scariest movie villain of all time? Now, scariest movie villain, that doesn't include horror movies, does it? Because I gotta go back to Friday the 13th. That's the one that scared me the most, or the Candyman. But villains, man. How about what's his name in went on to be Snape, but in the Die Hard movies, that I did enjoy. I did enjoy that. He was not scary though. I don't know. Are movie villains scary? I guess they are sort of scary. The really awful, creepy, awful ones. Trump in Home Alone 2. That's a good answer, Scott. That's a good answer. I'm not usually scared of movie villains. God, I just watched Shot Caller on Netflix, which is a movie about a guy. It was recommended to me by one of the professors at Jiu-Jitsu, and I have to say I enjoyed it. It's about a guy who has a regular life, and then he gets in a DUI where one of his friends in the car with him, you find this out early on, so it's not a spoiler alert. One of the friends in his car is killed in the accident. He's driving, and they take him, he gets sent to jail for manslaughter of his friend, and he kind of accepts the consequences, and jail does not it turns out that it really transforms him into a whole different type of dude. So if you'd like to watch a movie that's sort of the prison gang version of a Breaking Bad kind of scenario, there you go. Shot Caller on Netflix. It's free. What's it cost you? A couple hours of your life? You got that. Scariest villain is the guy from Saw. Yeah, I haven't seen too many Saw movies, but I know that they're sort of terrible. Jen, hey, can I just say I love everyone? Sure, it's the drugs, but still I do. Well, we love you too. Yes, Alan Rickman is who I was thinking of. I'm so sorry that I couldn't think of Alan Rickman's name. Flavia, you're saying Hannibal Lecter? Ooh, Hannibal Lecter, definitely scary. Max Cady in Cape Fear. Oh my God, Robert De Niro, when he bites the woman's face, that is about the freakiest, horrible. Oh, yeah, that was scary. I do not want to have a piece of my face bitten off. That's bad. For your age, at the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz, she was scary back when I was a kid, but those flying monkeys, that's what killed my sister. Sue is out here today, but man, those flying monkeys, they scared the crap out of her. They scared the crap out of me. Flying monkeys, I mean, listen, if those were real, there would be no more picnics, I can tell you that. Um, Kathy Bates in Misery. Yeah, super scary, especially if you're a kind of a public figure, which I would include myself in. But hopefully, I'm not going to wind up in a Bates situation. Barney's scary. Ouija. Barney's not scary. Barney loves you, and you love him. How's that scary? What kind of a freaky dungeon do you run up there? Real Housewives are scary. Jen, I agree with that. I think we're just going to do Seize the Day, and we're going to be back at it tomorrow for Happy Half Hour. I've got to go check on Lady Jerry. I made her some mashed potatoes today. She was super happy about it. And there's some left over for dinner for me and little Jerry. Little leftover mashed potatoes, little steamed broccoli with some ginger sauce. Might be kind of good. Ouija, you're not into that furry kind of purple love. Well, try it. You might like it. It's time for Seize the Day, everybody. Seize the Day. It's time for Seize the Day. Tomorrow's Friday, Happy Half Hour. I'm going to get into the Mentalist book for next week. I'm going to do some dust bustering in the Kimbo camper. Rich, now you want tater tots and gravy. I think that's a great idea. Okay. What am I? I'm just, man, there's just a lot. Here we go. Elizabeth Edwards. I'm not even sure who Elizabeth Edwards is. Failed presidential candidate John Edwards? No, I don't think so. Elizabeth Edwards. Today Seize the Day. But I have found that in the simple act of living with hope and in the daily effort to have a positive impact in the world, the days I do have are made all the more meaningful and precious, and for that I am grateful. Okay, I can't really say that I understood the punctuation or the phrasing of this one, but the simple act of living in hope and the daily effort to have a positive impact on the world, that's what makes your days meaningful and precious. So yes, I live in hope, and I'm trying to have a positive impact on the world. So far, so good. I think Jake Fest is going to be a smash, and I can say that I literally know nothing about it, and I can still say we're going to have a good time at Jake Fest. So we are all having a positive effect on each other, and I am very hopeful about all of the things that we've been discussing. Jen, you're getting ready to do a Hitler-like speech. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on with the drugs that you're taking, but if you could vacuum seal some and send them to me for Lady Jerry to get her back in the saddle. Yes, I'll tell her that you're praying for her, and get well soon. Thanks for all your well wishes. I'll take care of Lady Jerry. You guys take care of yourselves and each other, and thank you for taking care of me. And I got to make some Rice Krispie treats. I can't stop thinking about them this week. Don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later. Don't give up before the treats. Tomorrow's Friday, Happy Half Hour. See you all then.